But the beauty of this hero is if you are going to run a draft that loves to get online early, they love to just start fighting and start pushing down towers, this is the hero. All its abilities are just so darn powerful to begin with. You don't need many levels to be effective with this hero. And the thing is with Earth Spirit, later on it can sort of fall off quite a bit. So I imagine Chicken Fighters is going to go for some kind of early push style, fight style lineup. Just judging by the draft already, like Void Spirit, he loves fighting from level 6. Prophet, obviously, great push potential, great fighting capability with that teleportation. And Earth Spirit has the kit to fight very, very early on, as we do see the Morphling now pop out from Khan. So they realize this and they say, that's fine. We're gonna probably rush a quick E-Blade and take the fight to you, but they do now have that late game potential with the Morphling. And as well as that, he's actually got some decent morphing targets, right? Like the Void Spirit is never bad to morph into. Nature's Prophet, you can get teleportation if you morph into him, so you can essentially become a global morphling if you do get the morph on the Prophet. And even the Earth Spirit, like it's not the greatest hero to have to morph into, but it still allows you some nice escape capability or even some initiation potential. So I do like the pick up here from Khan, as Chicken Fighters now gonna have to try and retaliate with their own pick. What will it be though? They have a minute and 10. You would have loved to see the ancient apparition come out for Chicken Fighters, but of course we've already seen Khan first pick that. It's always a little bit difficult to deal with the Morphling. Unfortunately for Chicken Fighters, they banned out the PL, which is essentially one of those direct counters. Morphling really doesn't enjoy going up against that PL, but they ban it out themselves. As far as I'm aware, though, just based on this draft so far, Chicken Fighters probably will want something that gets online very, very early. So you'd like to see something like a Monkey King or. Alright, Grimstroke comes out. Hmm. So that's a core Nature's Prophet we're going to see, it looks like. Should be a mid Void Spirit, so we are still missing the position 1 hero for Chicken Fighters. We have seen a lot more Grimstroke being picked up in the meta right now, so it's not too shocking to see it come out. It doesn't really have the any real synergy with anyone else on the draft Chicken Fighters, but that's generally been the case with most drafts as well. They just don't have much synergy with the Grimstroke. They just pick it up anyway. As Khan, they will go into the Kunkka, and you've got to love that pick. Of course, Kunkka can help out quite early on. The boat run buff makes it very, very hard to fight into the team of Khan. And because Chicken Fighters are naturally going to have an advantage with the draft they're going for in the early stages of the game, just having that boat run buff is really going to help your team sustain throughout those team fights, because Khan is naturally going to be weaker with these heroes early on. You can make the argument by level 6 on the clock and Ancient Apparition, things may be a little bit different, but Chicken Fighters, they definitely have the stronger lineup for the first 10 to 15 minutes of the game. It's just going to be a matter of whether the Khan can hold on, and I think the Kunkka is just a great addition to the draft to help them kind of get through that very, very early game of Chicken Fighters. Maybe even come out ahead. You never really know. One more ban for Khan, and we get to see how both these teams do finish off their drafts. Do see the Monkey King ban, and I did mention it before. You need something early on Chicken Fighters. The Monkey King would have been an amazing addition to this Chicken Fighters draft, but they won't have it any longer. And the axe will come out from Khan. That's a very, very interesting pickup. It seems as though what they intend to do is make the safe lane of Chicken Fighters as hard as possible, which is fair enough. Just force those creeps to be underneath that tier 1 tower. I imagine Khan will probably try and just creep skip with this axe. Chicken Fighters, I mean, what do you pick up as a POS 1 now? You haven't got the Void, you haven't got the Monkey, you haven't got the PL. Oh, okay, that's what we're going into. So they go into the Arc Warden. I hate seeing this hero pop out for Chicken Fighters, but I can see what they're trying to do. They really didn't have any other options left. Like, in terms of that early game push style they wanted, they don't really have anything available to them, apart from things like, Lycan and the heroes that just aren't in the meta right now. But of course, into the axe, the Lycan just wouldn't work anyway. Chicken Fighters, they go for the Arc Warden. It can hold out. If they find Khan gets an early lead somehow or another, Chicken Fighters can hold out with this hero, can just split push lanes and rat a lot. And if they get the advantage, Arc Warden's a powerhouse. It's just infuriating to deal with, and really nobody on the side of Khan right now has the tools to deal with the Arc Warden. You haven't really got great D push on the... well, you do, but you don't, right? Like, it's very hard to push out when you've got this Arc Warden that's going to be split pushing the other lanes every 2 seconds. So ultimately for Khan, it's going to be very, very important that they shut this Arc Warden down ASAP. In fact, it looks like it's going to be a mid Arc Warden being played by Supreme and a position 1 Nature's Prophet. Which does make a little more sense. But the objective still stands. You've got to make sure Supreme does not get the farm he requires in this Arc Warden. Otherwise, the game is going to become hellish for Khan. As we do get into the game, and I think the audio may have gone up a little bit as time has gone on, which is kind of nice. So we'll get game number 1 started. I should mention, this is going to be the only best of 3 tonight. There is not one after this. There'll be one more best of 3 tomorrow and another best of 3 after that. In fact, I believe the 3rd day there's grand finals on, so... I don't know if it's just me, or that it seems like there's a weird tinge of purple on this feed. I could not tell you why. I might just be seeing things. Maybe I'm going blind, but regardless, Saberlight gonna get battle hungered up. He'll be alright. Although maybe not. Yimich, he's waiting on the high ground. Now Puba slows him down a bit. Yimich didn't actually go for a battery assault or cogs yet, it looks like, and doesn't really bother next to that tier 2 tower. Bounty routes, it should be a 2 for 2 trade, and it is. Chicken Fighters, they'll find the bottom ones. Khan, they'll get the top. The Prophet going to go for a bit of a creep block with these treants, but those treants are going to expire, and he misses anyway, but Milan will take over. It's just great to do this, right? You force those creeps underneath the opposing tier 1 tower. That way, you'll get a double wave pushing towards your own tier 1, and you'll get heaps of XP and gold. Only thing is, Chicken Fighters unfortunately had Khan doing the exact same thing, but they are going to jump onto the axe. Straight off the bat, Charlie already diving the tier 1. They won't find the axe quite yet, but they do put him in a very, very peculiar situation. And Chicken Fighters, I love the aggression. They didn't quite have the damage output to make the kill happen, but they make it hard on the axe, and whoa, production value. I haven't seen this before, but it's nice. Alright, there you have it. Arrow, 5 games played of Kunkka, 100% win rate. Supreme with 1 game on Arc Warden with also 100%. That is impressive though, 5 Kunkka games with 100% in this tournament. See if you can keep that stat up. Naive will dodge out the Remnant Saberlight though, running in with the Inkswell. Now the roll from Milan, they do find the first blood. Seneko, the one to pick it up on the Grimstroke. It's just the beauty of having these kind of heroes on your lineup, right? With the Grimstroke Earth Spirit, you just roam around the map and keep making kills happen, because they can just do this at level 1 over and over again. This time around though, they don't have the Inkswell, but instead Stroke of Fate comes in. Milan just going to keep chasing him. There's the Remnant. It comes out from Saberlight from a mile away. They do find the kill, but now Milan falling low, and he does give a kill away to Naive on the Morphling. Yeah, Mitch even going to chase down with the clock now. I don't really know if that was really worthwhile. Like, you got a kill on the AA, but you gave Milan's life away to a Morphling who desperately wants that farm at ASAP. That's essentially a full creep wave worth of farm that you just gave away to that POS 1 Morph. So Chicken Fighters may be getting a little too ahead of themselves. Cuba really won't mind dying like that. In fact, Khan, they're going to try and find some kind of trade now. Seneko going to get caught in the cogs. Battery Assault going to be there. Remnant will latch on, but Seneko, he's going to fall way too low. And your Mitch now setting up a very nice kill on the clock. And both these teams appear to be maintaining those tri-lanes up at that top lane. Which I'm a bit surprised for with Chicken Fighters, because you've left this Axe now up against Charlie. Charlie actually just going to TP out. Where are you going? Back to the Dire Fountain it is. I just don't see why you leave an Axe alone like that. Like, it's just going to be a little bit hard for Charlie to deal with. Like, maybe Charlie still secures his farm, but it's a nature's prophet after all. The Treants do nothing but feed the Axe. They just want to make sure that this Void Spirit gets the best start possible. But you're giving Axe a completely free lane. We'll have to keep an eye out, see what kind of build this Axe does end up going for. So runes, production, wow. Top rune, Invis is going to be there. Arrow, going to be there to pick it up very quickly on. Going to say Supreme has been doing fairly well in the mid lane considering the matchup. The Kunkka vs Arc Water matchup does always generally favor the Kunkka, but he's kept up 20 last hits, 4 denies. 26 and 6 of the Kunkka. But just the fact that he's keeping up and not getting denied too hard is quite impressive from Supreme. Arrow will just always have the advantage in getting those denies off. In fact, a very nice turret into a Tidebringer hit. Supreme have to be very wary as we are going to hit the level 6 of the Kunkka soon. He already has that level 1 X marks the spot, so I can almost guarantee once that boat's up, he's going to try for the kill on the Arc Warden. Charlie still having to deal with this Axe on his own. Not doing too bad of a job, it's just not the greatest job either. Milan gonna get caught out on the Earth Spirit. And Mitch will manage to pick up the kill, and that's one thing every Earth Spirit hates playing against is a Clockwork. Because Battery Assault just ruins everything that you can do on the hero. So as soon as that first Battery Assault hits you, you're kind of screwed. You can't roll away, you can't really do anything else. You could try to go for the Boulder Smash and slow them down a little bit, but most of the time they'll be able to keep up. So Mitch is probably going to have a very fun time with this Clockwork up against Milan. do finally have the net worth graph coming up, and as you can see, Arrow is well and truly ahead. 2.9k net worth just about, followed by his own position 1 Morphling being played by a Naive. Saberlight, waveform, gonna be there in time. He does use the Pole Stroke of Fate and the Nature's Wrath, just blowing up Naive. And Puba also going down to Charlie. Now they'll chase down Yamich. Yamich does manage to just walk out of there, but man, that Nature's Wrath, it's a hell of a lot of damage on a morph. And that's probably one thing that he's going to have to keep in mind, Naive, is just it could come at any time and you can't be Agimorph that far in. So if he gets the right bounces off those creeps, it does hurt quite a bit. So a 3-4, slight net worth lead remaining for Khan. Charlie has overtaken Naive on that Morphling in terms of net worth for now. Chicken Fighters with this disgusting global strat of the Arc Water Nature's Prophet. The problematic is roll in, gonna be there onto Puba. Nice boulder smash, does connect on 2. They just want the AA kill. Saberlight will happily take that, as now we see an Axe rotation coming in. They are going to find Milan, but is it really worth rotating the Axe over for this? Looks like he wants to go for more. He'll try to run towards Saberlight. Are we going for a lane swap? Is that what we're seeing? Saneko TP's out. Does go mid. Supreme was falling low, but now Arrow going to be in trouble. Supreme with the real hero. He was just 1 hit away from dying pretty much, but just great rotations coming out from Chicken Fighters. And it's a big kill on Arrow. He is the top net worth in this game right now. Just Charlie on this Prophet making so much work happen already. Even going straight after a T1 mid tower now. It just, the confidence on this man as Yamich, going to try and cancel that TP and does get the cogs off. He'll have his teleportation available soon anyway. It's not too big of a deal, it just slows him down a little bit. Milan, that was a very interesting kick on the range creep. Not really sure what the point of that was. We are going to have a disconnection coming out from Charlie. Yeah, again, Charlie is really setting his team up for success this game. I mean, his lane was a little bit rough, but it's to be expected, and now he just keeps rotating and finding kills. As we see at top lane, Saberlight got the Ink Swell up, going onto that Axe, though he is very healthy, but this Void Spirit does a lot of damage, but there's the call coming in. Still, they have the Resonant Pulse. Do they get out? Not quite. The Axe still surviving for now. Saberlight, do you have an Astral Step? Not really, but this Axe still being chased down by Saberlight, and it looks like, Saneko, and Saberlight does actually claim the kill as Yamich. Gonna chase down Saneko. Won't find anything. And Chicken Fighters do find themselves with a 4-7 lead. Do see Charlie TPing straight onto Puba. There is a rolling from Milan. Doesn't really connect, but doesn't really matter. Puba just has no HP to survive that kind of damage. Again, Charlie just going to be there every time he sees an easy kill. Especially if Milan's around. Saneko. Get on the Axe. Inkswell does connect. Arrow, though, this time around, coming in with the boat. X onto Saneko. This should be a very easy support kill. Milan thought about helping out, but there's really nothing you can do on the Earth Spirit to help in that situation. Can't. I mean, they're chasing. I say they're chasing, right? They've got their position 2 and 1 of the top net worth. But it does still feel like they're somewhat behind in terms of momentum this game. Can't understand. Like, they just need to play this out. Like, Charlie finds a kill again onto the axe. Arrow now going to get caught out. Astral Step there from Saberlight, and they should really have the damage here. Arrow, he's going to try and run away. He doesn't have boat available, though. There's just no way out of this. And Charlie, again, going to pick up a double kill on the Prophet. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction that this Nature's Prophet is probably going to be banned in the next draft that we see in Game 2. So he really is doing a fantastic job. Especially in buying Supreme Space on this Arc Warden. Well, top lane, there is a core from the Axe. He does have Yumich there to help out. They really want this Prophet kill, and they do get the dunk. It's quite a bit of gold going out onto this Axes now. Dissimulate. Saberlight, do you get out? Supreme, meanwhile, he found Puber on the AA mid lane. And they've actually just left Saberlight alone. They are just going to try and fight mid as Supreme. Going to run away with the Inkswell active. Instead, they'll turn their attention onto Milan, but he's going to roll out. Chicken Fight is going to be okay with just picking up that POS 5 kill. Poor Puber is having a very, very rough time. 5 kills already. Or 5 deaths already on his name. But that's just going to happen over and over again to the poor guy. There's just nothing he can do. Got no way of escaping when they do come to gankers. Speaking of, Charlie does come in to try and go for a gank. Naive is there this time around. They get the hookshot. Yumich controlling Charlie up, and he does get bursted as Milan tried to help, but there's just, again, nothing he can do yet. They're really focusing down this Nature's Prophet. He's just so valuable to the side of Khan. Every time Charlie's dead, you know you feel a lot safer across the map, as they don't really have much gank potential without him. And as I say that, they are going to go onto Arrow, but the roll doesn't connect. Still, they do have the Inkswell. Arrow will be stunned up, and now a nice kickback with the silence. Arrow, can you survive all this damage? He does have boat. He is not actually going to throw it in yet, and he just torrents on the Arc Warden Remnant. So Charlie does actually claim the kill as he respawns, and they're going to keep going for more. They want this axe. Boulder Smash, going to connect, but it looks like a bit of bait here on Milan, who's dived a bit too far. He keeps the Magnetize going. Magnetize, though, really doesn't deal much damage as Seneko. Going to go down now to Puber on the AA. Yumich still looking around for this Earth Spirit. Does have Hookshot available, but he'll leave it at that. Chicken Fighters maybe just getting a bit overly confident. All props to them, though. They keep finding Arrow on the Kunkka. You're never going to mind trading your Grimstroke for a core Kunkka kill. You've got to be very wary of the fact that Khan's just very able to fight back now. Looks like the odds have actually switched, Khan being the favorites in this match. I actually see the Axe going for the phase boots into the Blink Rush. And you know what? I'm going to say this game, I do love the Blink Rush from the Axe. I think it's so necessary. Because if Chicken Fighters are going to be forced to continue rushing these team fights, having an Axe with a Blink this early on is really going to make it tough for Chicken Fighters to be able to do that. And there it is. The Blink comes out. Now Khan, they know every time a team fight starts, as long as the Axe has a TP, they're probably going to be able to just turn it around as long as they kite long enough. I think this puts puts Chicken Fighters in a really rough spot. You've still got the late game potential with the Prophet and the Arc Warden, but it's not really how you wanted to play this out. They're just going to trade a T1 tower though. Charlie going to be there with Seneko. They'll force down this tier 1 very easily. Khan, they are slowly setting up to take the top tier 1 themselves. Do we see a defense from Chicken Fighters? Probably not. We do see Saberlight showing himself, and Axe is hiding in the tree line, and now he gets the call off into the Ice Blast. Saberlight gonna get bursted so quick, it doesn't really matter what he does after that. The Ice Blast passive was already active. Puba gets some sweet, sweet revenge on this Void Spirit. They do eventually find the tier 1 as well. Things are getting worse and worse as time goes on for this Dire side. It doesn't look too bad yet. It looks like they have the lead, but they really don't. Not with this draft. You do at least have Supreme now with the Maelstrom up, so he does have some decent D push. Mid lane. Supreme gonna get started with that with the pushing with the Remnant. Death by 1,000 cuts is what the Arc Warden stands by. Arrow. Nice little torrent attempt, doesn't quite connect. And Khan actually posturing quite a lot at that top lane. Just maintaining that dire jungle control. They seem to be very confident in taking any team fight now. Especially with Puba and your Mitch. You've got so much kill potential with this AA Clockwork alone. They catch a core out with that hook into the Ice Blast. It can be very effective, but a nice hook out. Great hook out, in fact. Really ruined the smoke of Chicken Fighters. I just noticed the Clockwork voice is in a different language. Khan. Sticking by arrow mid. Roll in, Inkswell going to be there with the silence onto Arrow. Cogs, though, pushing them back. Inkswell did connect, and now the follow-up silence. Arrow, he is falling low, and he will eventually go down, and now the Axe comes in, but he can't quite find a blink. He'll go onto Charlie, though, with the call, trying to get the dunk. Not quite enough. He has it now. They do get it with Puba and the Ice Blast. Milan going to chase down the Axe, though. They want to continue finding more kills for Chicken Fighters, and they do. Naive and Puba just forced to get out as Supreme finds a triple kill on the Arc Warden. Chicken Fighters just making these really unexpected team fights. You wouldn't just expect them to roll in like that into a tier 1 mid tower, but they just feel comfortable to do so. Now Supreme is going to be top of the net worth on the Arc Warden as Saberlight going to get caught out by the clock on the hook. There is going to be an Astral Step. Your Mitch, though, already looping around. Ice Blast going to fly through, and the passive already connects. Saberlight, no way to survive that. Your Mitch will be the one to pick up the kill on the clock. I suppose for Khan now, this the main source of issue is going to be Supreme. Roll in, going to be there from Milan, straight onto your Mitch, and Supreme is going to be there with his Remnant. Oh, actually going to fly in. I believe that is Remnant, right? Nevertheless, Soulbind was there, and yeah, the Remnant does expire. They just want to secure the outpost and try and deny it off Chicken Fighters, but they do manage to get it anyway. It's Charlie going to try and TP out, but a nice Ice Blast giving vision into the adaptive strike of Naive, and now even the call through the Sprout, not allowing the Prophet to run away and juke them out. They will get Charlie. And so the outpost, the little fight we saw before, it was just the side of Khan trying to control the outpost before the 20-minute mark. They didn't get away with it. And I just wonder for Khan, how do you deal with this Arc Warden? He's just going to continue to do this over and over again. Just rat out towers. It's just what the hero does. And it gets to some weird point with Arc Warden where he doesn't even want to fight anymore. Like, you'll see Arc Wardens get 6 slotted and not fight ever. Like, they'll just use the Remnant every time. And they'll just split push with the real hero. And it's like, how do you deal with that? Saberlight. Use that Remnant, catch out the Axe. Glimmercape going to be there to save him. The Dust didn't actually connect as Ice Blast going to fly through against Saberlight. Going to be the main target. They got the X off. The Ice Blast, however, did not connect onto the Void Spirit. They still want to really force in this tier 1 mid. Khan just aren't ready to back off yet. Roll in though, onto Arrow. This Kunkka, he's got a target on his back. They get the Soulbind off on the Axe and Arrow really has no way out. He thought about throwing the bow, but it's all too late, and now Mitch, he hooked in. It's gonna cost him his life. Chicken Fighters with that go straight towards that Roshan pit. Charlie already there with the Sprout. Treant's not actually coming out for Charlie. Doesn't really seem to matter anyway. Ice Blast, very nice, does follow through. Charlie does have to be a little bit careful about how much damage he cops. He'll be okay though. Nobody from the side of Khan is going to be there to try and counter this Roshan attempt. And now the odds swing heavily again. Immediate TP's up. And even Saberlight just does secure the top T1. It's going to be every T1 tower off the map now for Khan. They've only found one themselves so far. Chicken Fighters just looking really good with this Arc Warden. Just the consistent ganks onto Arrow as well. It's just forcing him to go for an early BKB timing on the Kunkka. That has just been their main priority the whole time, is just keep focusing the Kunkka as much as possible. Supreme now finding himself at level 17 already. Has the BOTs up, has the Dragonlance up, going into a Hurricane Pike. The Arc Warden build just never seems to change. I'm not really surprised by that though. It's just BOTs make it such a global hero to have. What are we seeing here from Khan? Looks like their main tend to smoke, but Chicken Fighters, they've smoked up already. They are going to have a low ground disadvantage, but Arrow showing himself, and now a great hookshot. Mitch getting in there with the cogs, and they're just getting bursted down, Chicken Fighters. They lose both their supports already. Saberlight going to try and run his way out. Battle Hunger going to be there with the X into the boat. There is going to be a Remnant holding down the Morphling as he does actually get away from the X, but it's not going to matter. He does get caught out anyway by the Axe, and that's actually going to be a triple kill. That's a huge team fight coming up for Khan. That'll give Arrow that BKB now. It'll give them a lot more space for Khan to feel a little more comfortable to get some more farm up, because they have found themselves really behind. Supreme just being so frustrating with this Remnant. Even while Arrow's on the Remnant, he's just clearing out the creep wave. With nothing that Arrow can actually do about that. He's just got to accept the fact that his creep wave's dead. Kana just going to keep holding out. They've got the E-Blade now on Naive. They're getting a lot stronger on their cause. Problem still stands though. How do you catch out Supreme? Mid lane, Arrow. That is a very dangerous position. He does have BKB, so he must feel confident enough, but there's the Soulbind onto the Axe. Blade Mail, though, was activated. Naive already blew up Saneko. Yamich, meanwhile, getting caught mid-hook by the Remnant. He'll still survive those. Milan does roll out of there. Yamich is a bit too deep, but Glimmer Cape won't save him. There was already a Sentry Ward down. Saberlight going after Naive. Now Milan does get pretty darn low, but not low enough. He does manage to walk away. His Arrow going to be the main source of the target, but Saberlight, in fact, still chasing Naive. This is a very dangerous target to try and go for, but he feels confident with the Haste Rune active. Supreme, meanwhile, does finally find Arrow, and now Charlie. He does TP in after Naive. They were just trying to give vision for Charlie to know where to TP into. ChFight is a 4-man wipe. And immediately they go into those tier 3 towers. This has been a great performance from ChFighters. They were kind of in a bit of a dark spot earlier on, just based off the fact that their cores weren't finding the farm they needed to, but now the Axe, I believe that is a Remnant from Supreme. Still a bit of gold though. Still worth catching. Supreme won't mind too much. They're all in the mid lane, pushing the tier 2. Do they keep going? They do have 15 seconds or so without Naive, and they are actually going to try and force a team fight. Where are we looking, Mr. Cameraman? We are looking at the Axe and Yamich getting caught out by the Soulbind. They have nowhere to go but down, and both are dead without buyback, and the GG War play's been called. Wow, Khan, they've had enough. And that's actually going to be the first loss for Arrow on this Kunkka during the tournament. But all props to ChFighters. They look great. Again, at one point during the game, I really did think this draft just wasn't going to work for them. But they just found a few good team fights. They kept picking off Arrow on the Kunkka, never letting him get online. And as you can see, they just took over the game. Nevertheless, it is a best of 3 series. We'll have game 2 coming up very, very soon. It's MLP Dota. I'll see you guys again in hopefully just a few minutes.